Hey guys, so Bitcoin is currently sitting around 9,500. So looking at where it was midweek, Bitcoin was around it had cracked those 9,000 levels. However, looking at, since the start of the year, we're now approaching that psychological 10,000 levels. And we first approached that once in early February and then again early May. So it's interesting to see where price action will take us. I don't particularly feel bearish sentiment at the moment. In fact, I feel quite bullish in terms of where I think Bitcoin price is going to go. However, the market tends to place significant importance around round numbers. So 10,000 happens to be one of these numbers. So we'll see price potentially have a healthy retracement back to the mid 8,000s. That's what I'm expecting. I think there's a very high chance for that particular pullback, which will see some negative sentiment. However, I would see that particular move as a healthy retracement in order for us to, on our third attempt in the last couple of weeks, to actually break through that all important 10,000 levels. So with all of the commentary that's happening at the moment, so Goldman Sachs saying that Bitcoin isn't really considered like an asset class, and then you've got other figures like Portshooter Jones, who is investing very large amounts of money, being particularly an advocate for Bitcoin, and also highlighting amidst all the all the intervention by central banks and all the fiscal monetary policy artificially stimulating the economy in a non-sustainable way, right? So a lot of these activities heightens the need for a digital currency which solves some of these problems. So in other news, it's interesting to see Raiz, so one of the micro investors, actually talk about the benefits of Bitcoin and the interest that they're seeing from millennials in order to have actual exposure to Bitcoin through their investing app, right? So currently Sapphire is going to be one of these new platforms which will be accessible to millennials, which will allow them to have exposure to about 5% of Bitcoin. So currently there's essentially a bunch of ETFs which allow young millennials to invest in baskets of stock which suit different risk appetites, from conservative to much higher risk. However, the recommendation is, and this is probably good advice, that the minimum time frame for a more risky portfolio like their new Sapphire portfolio should have a minimum time frame of 5 years. We're also seeing in other platforms where there is a bit of a crossover between crypto digital asset purchasing platform offering the purchase of precious metals, right? So you've got a company called Bitcoin Suisse, which is offering crypto holders to actually buy precious metals like gold, silver, and platinum, which will bridge the gap between the different asset classes. So at the click of a button, in essence, you'd be able to purchase some of these metals. So I think having that option makes legacy markets, which previously were used to buy metals, it now opens that door for people in terms of flexibility. So looking at their offering, they're actually offering 3 different metals which can be traded against the USD or the Swiss francs or British pound and the euro. And during this time when we're seeing some negativity from Goldman Sachs highlighting Bitcoin's involvement in the Ponzi scheme, dark markets, money laundering and ransoms and that sort of thing, I am not that surprised, considering Goldman Sachs is one of those banks which will trade against its people, releasing information saying that in 2008 that markets are going to, going to actually do really well while they're selling their own assets. So not the most ethical company or business that you would take their information on face value. So anyway, that's my quick update. Hopefully you guys followed along and found something interesting. This is just a quick update on crypto markets, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.